than 200 years before the American frontiersmen blazed a trail west, their Russian counterparts, the Promyshleniki, began moving eastward, crossing the Ural Mountains and penetrating into the Siberian wilderness. They hunted the sable, prized for its rich pelt, to trade for Chinese silk, porcelain, herbs, and especially tea for the samovars of Holy Mother Russia. But the sable was soon hunted to near extinction. The Promyshleniki continued eastward in search of unspoiled hunting grounds. Upon reaching the Pacific in the late 1600s, the Russians heard stories of a great bounty of furs to the east, beyond the ocean. In 1725, Tsar Peter the Great sent the Danish navigator Vitus Bering to explore Russia's Pacific coastline and to determine whether Asia and America were joined by a land bridge. On his second voyage in 1741, Bering saw the mainland of North America. But he died after his ship was wrecked on a lonely island in the sea that now bears his name. Gaunt and starving survivors of his crew managed to return to Siberia. They were dressed in the furs of sea otters, seals, and Arctic blue foxes. These furs caused a sensation in Russia. Began regular voyages to the Aleutian Islands to trade, especially for the fur of the sea otter, for which the Chinese paid enormous prices, as much as 300 gold rubles per skin. Brother of the otter, the Aleut, had successfully occupied the island chain for thousands of years. Skilled with their harpoons and skin boats, they found plentiful sources of food in the rich marine ecosystem. Their skill in hunting sea otter far surpassed that of the Russians, whose rifle fire would have spooked every otter within earshot. In 1784, the Russians established their first permanent settlement in the Aleutians, on Kodiak Island.
Теперь только осторожнее. Рыба вкусная, но в ней большие кости. Фильм за здоровье всех людей. Вот так.
They forced Aleut men into service as hunters, and many took Aleut women as wives. In 1799, the Russian-American Company was formed, a government-chartered monopoly similar to the Hudson's Bay Company. Under the skillful leadership of its first chief manager, Alexander Baranov, Russian and Aleut hunters traveled further and further in search of new, richer otter hunting grounds. Baranov sent hunting expeditions around the Gulf of Alaska and down the Pacific Northwest coast. Russian ships provided support and protection for fleets of Aleut hunting bidarkas. Protection was essential around the islands of southeast Alaska, where the native Tlingits, a strong warrior culture, fiercely resisted the Russian intrusion. The Tlingits succeeded in destroying 2 Russian settlements, but Baranov, with the help of an Imperial Navy warship, was able to establish the settlement of New Archangel, which eventually became the capital of Russian America, Sitka. Subdued but unconquered, the Klingits became trading partners with the Przemyślniki, but relations were distant and formal. Like other European colonizers, the Russians brought Christianity to their new world. The Russian Orthodox Church sent missionaries and priests who set out to bring the gospel to the native peoples. They also served to temper the harsh hand of the Przemyślniki. This missionary effort was furthered in 1840 with the installation of a bishop in New Archangel. At its height, the Russian-American Company exported a wealth of furs, timber, ice, and fish to ports around the world. But the Russian hold on her vast American colony was tenuous. Fewer than 1,000 Russians manned the loose network of forts, trading stations, and ships that stretched thousands of miles around the North Pacific Rim to a small outpost only 80 miles north of San Francisco. And the sea otter, for years the economic underpinning of Russian America, was disappearing. Mother Russia, embroiled in the Crimean War at home, was afraid that Britain or France might easily take the weakly held colony. To forestall its loss by conquest or annexation, Imperial Russia sold its North American colony to its friend, the United States. 500,000 square miles of forest, tundra, glaciers, islands, and mountains changed hands for $7.2 million, about 2 cents per acre. On October 18, 1867, the Russian double eagle was lowered. In its place, the Stars and Stripes were hoisted over American Alaska. The Russian-American Company closed its doors, and many Russians returned to the mother country. But their legacy remains: their religion, their names, their children. Native Russian American, Alaskan.